Kesava, a beautiful name of Lord Krishna, has been used 6 times in Bhagavad Gita, 4 times by Arjuna and twice by Sanjaya. It will be very interesting for us to observe that in the first 3 chapters, continuously Arjuna has used the name Kesava. No other name has been used in the first 3 chapters continuously. So Kesava comes in the first chapter, in the second chapter, and now the third chapter, the very first sloka has the name Kesava. Now, what do we mean by the word Kesava? In what context is Arjuna using it here? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhil janardana tatkim karmani gore mam niyojayasi Kesava. After listening to Lord Krishna explaining a lot about the importance of Sankhya Yoga, Arjuna is now asking Krishna, if Buddhi Yogam is so important, if knowledge is so important, why are you pushing me to do this Gora Karma? So that is when Arjuna uses the word Kesava. Because killing everybody in a battle, especially the near and dear and your own gurus, is not an easy task. So why are you insisting that I get into this complicated task, oh Krishna, if you think knowledge is so important? So that is what Arjuna wants to know. In fact, he is asking this in a slightly argumentative tone because he does not want to fight the war. Now, Krishna explains a lot about Karma Yoga. He gives clarification to Arjuna. This entire chapter in Bhagavad Gita is all about Karma Yoga. Krishna now explains about our duties, who is supposed to do what are the consequences of not doing one's duty, what are the kind of duties which get us into bondage, what are the kind of things we have to do if we want to have mukti or a release from this kind of a bondage. And Krishna very clearly explains that you have to do your duty, but do not cling on to the results thereof. The fruits of whatever you do is not up to you. You don't have to worry about the fruits. You just have to do your duty and do a tyagam of the fruits of whatever action you take. So, palatyagam is something that Krishna will insist upon as we go forward in this chapter. So, at this point of time, why did Arjuna choose to use the name Kesava? Kesava has a beautiful meaning, which is Kam plus Isha. Kam means happiness, Isha means Lord. So, Kesava is the Lord of all the happiness. Happiness here would mean the Ihaloka Sukham and the Paraloka Sukham. The happiness that we can get on earth and the ultimate happiness, the eternal bliss. Lord Kesava is in charge of both these happiness. So Arjuna is now asking Krishna, hey Kesava, you are supposed to be the person who's in charge of giving happiness both here and in the other world. But now if I enter into this war, you want me to fight a war, I'm not going to feel happy. And I'm not going to feel happy after this also because I'll be going to hell as a consequence of fighting this war. Therefore, hey Kesava, please clarify. Krishna will explain why this war will not lead to hell, how doing his duty is of paramount importance to him. The other time when the word Kesava has been used by Arjuna is in the 10th chapter, the 14th sloka. Sarvametadritam manye yenmam vadasi Kesava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danavaha. Krishna here explains about the vibhutis. Vibhutis means the various manifestations of Krishna himself. Nobody else will be able to understand Krishna because he is the creator of the entire universe. Here Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as Kesava. So what is the meaning of Kesava here? We have a very beautiful meaning. Ka means Brahma. Isha means Shiva, Va means Vapu, which is the Sariram or the body. So, Brahma and Shiva came from Krishna's body, therefore Krishna is called as Kesava. This is in fact mentioned by Lord Shiva himself to Bhagavan Krishna in Harivamsham. Ka iti Brahmano nama Ishoham Sarvadehinam Avam Tavange Sambhutau Tasmat Kesava Namavan. Therefore, we know that Kesava is the person who was even before Brahma and Shiva, so nobody will be aware of him. So in this sloka, Arjuna says, hey Kesava, the asuras or the devas will not know about it ever. Therefore, he is requesting Kesava to explain about his vibhutis. Vibhutis are the different manifestations of God which nobody can know. Krishna says that it is very difficult to explain everything about me, but let me tell some of the things in short. In fact, this is the Adhyayam where we get to hear Krishna in his own words explaining about all his different manifestations. He says, Aksharanam Akarosmi. Among all the alphabets, I am the Aksharam Akara. I am the month of Margari. So he says that Masanam Margasirshoham. So the Margasirsha month is nothing but me. So he says a lot of different things like this. So we get to know a glimpse of some of the aspects of Lord Krishna from this Vibhuti chapter. The message that Arjuna gives here is, nobody can understand Krishna in full. People want to see God in order to start following God's instructions. What is the scientific proof behind a lot of our practices are some of the frequent questions that we keep getting, right? We have to understand that there are a lot of things beyond us. There are a lot of things beyond what our sense organs can ever understand. We can't see everything that is there in front of us. There are microscopic things which is right here in front of us. We can't see all those things. There are a lot of things which are too big or too bright for us to see. We can't see. We can't hear sounds which are too subtle. We can't hear sounds which are too loud. So we have a lot of such limitations, right? If we see a color, we are able to see colors in the 7 different combinations of Vibgyor or different combinations which come from the basic colors. But a dog on the other hand can see only monochrome. So from the shoes of dog, if we see the entire world, the dog might think that the world itself is monochrome. It's only black or white. But when we look at the world, we see a more colorful world. So it is all about perspectives and capacity, right? The individual capacity depending on the form that we take. So here with our limited capacity, which is restricted by our indriyas or the sense organs, we want to see or hear or understand something which is way beyond us. We want to understand God with our limited capacity. How is that ever going to be possible? Therefore, what is going to make this possible is only our devotion. Because Lord Krishna himself says that a person who is really devoted to me will be granted buddhi yogam by my mercy. Therefore, God will give us what we deserve based on our devotion to him. So all what we can do is be devoted to Lord Krishna. Krishna is really merciful. His karuna will help us understand things depending on what we are worth, what our devotion is worth. So he will give us all what we need to know. Therefore, we have to just do our part of the work. We should not expect the results thereof. We have to be devoted to God. Automatically, a lot of our questions will get answered. Therefore, let's recite Lord Krishna's names and be blessed.
Madhava Achyuta Krishna Hare Rishikesha Kesava Govinda Vasudeva Bhagavan Janardana